Hello, this is Angelia with today's Bible reading. Today's reading comes from Galatians 1, Perversion of the Gospel. I am amazed that you are so quickly deserting him who called you, by the grace of Christ, for a different gospel, which is really not another. Only there are some who are disturbing you and want to distort the gospel of Christ. But even if we, or an angel from heaven, should preach to you a gospel contrary to what we have preached to you, he is to be accursed. As we have said before, so I say again now, if any man is preaching to you a gospel contrary to what you received, he is to be accursed. For I am now seeking the favor of men, not seeking, I think that is supposed to be, or of God. Or am I striving to please men? If I were still trying to please men, I would not be a bondservant of Christ. I know a lot of people who kind of bring out Old Testament concepts to support their stance on things that do not agree with what Jesus said. So here, that's a point that Paul is making, is the gospel of Christ, because you have an Old Testament, you have a New Testament, see, I should do a new thing, God said. So if you're using Old Testament tenets to support your position and it goes against something that Jesus said, then that's a problem. And again, I'm not going to get in, to a lot of religiosity here, because there's a lot of people who believe a lot of different things. And I believe that there are some faith systems that have merit based on emotional, mental, physical things. But anyway, those are not worship systems, the ones that I, delve into. So again, if you're worshiping someone other than God and Jesus Christ in God, then from my point of view, you're doing the wrong thing. From Christianity's point of view, you're doing the wrong thing. So, that's up to some argument. But that's just how I feel about it. And how Paul feels about it. So there we are. And anyway, he's not seeking the favor of men. And let's face the facts. The world wants to be worldly. People of the flesh want to be fleshly. So, if you're, preaching the gospel of Christ, they're not going to like you very much. Because you're going to tell them they're doing some bad things they shouldn't be doing. They're not going to like that. So, if you're preaching the gospel of Christ, you're not going to be a friend to men. They're not going to care, about that. They don't want to deal with that in their life. And again, Paul says basically the same thing. If I were trying to please men, I would not be a bondservant to Christ. Because the world likes its own people who are doing the worldly things. And Christ's people like Christ's people who are doing what Jesus told us to do. We're walking in his footsteps. Like in, Vacation Bible School, you're going to put on your Be Like Jesus shoes. Amen. That's all for now.